There is no going back to the way things were. That's over. That's not going to happen. We still have a long road ahead of us. The Trump regime still has to fall, and people have to be held accountable. We'll have our own Nuremberg-style trials. But what comes after? And that's something that keeps plaguing my mind on what comes next. When we go to rebuild the government in America, here's a few ideas. No more super PACs. That's done. Companies are not people. We remove that shit. We bring back the fairness doctrine in the news. There are 13 circuits for the Supreme Court and only 9 judges. We fix that. 1 judge per circuit, and they're no longer appointed by a president. They're elected by the people, and we can figure out the federal circuit voting stuff later. Not only are they elected by the people in their circuit, but there is a 15-year term on that. And while we're on term limits in the Senate and the House. A new committee shall be formed to oversee judges and whether or not they have any ties, financially or otherwise, to cases brought before them. So the new committee will be able to recuse judges. So the Supreme Court we have now is completely removed. We add 4 more seats to make it 13, and they are now elected into that position by the people of their circuits, with a committee to oversee any financial ties, familial ties, or any other ties. So no more judges sitting in front of cases that they personally benefit from. And I know a comedian said this as a joke, but it's a really good fucking idea. And that is, every person in the Congress, whether they be in the Senate or the House, has to wear a sash, just like a Boy Scout or Girl Scout does. And they have to wear badges. So if they take money from big oil, they have to wear that on their sash. Any organization they take money from, they have to wear that for everybody to see. When they're in the House and the Senate, they have to wear their sash. When they do interviews, they have to wear their sash. When they go out in front of the public, they have to wear their sash, with all the people who have bought them or given them money. Institute ranked choice voting across the board for every state. For every election, ranked choice voting. Every single person knows the 2-party system is broken. Eliminate the Electoral College. That's gone. 1 vote, 1 person. That's it. Felons cannot run for office. Not any office. Ever. Anywhere. That's over with. From henceforth, any person from any cabinet position must actually be qualified in that field. Certificates, degrees, years of experience, they have to actually be qualified to be in charge of that field. Presidential candidates from here on out have to sit down in front of a whole board of people and answer questions. Not just limelight bullshit like 60 Minutes, actual board of intelligent people asking them questions. And if they can't answer them, that is for the public to see. I'm tired of this 1 or 2 debate platform forum bullshit. Sit down in front of a whole bunch of people and take questions. No advisors, no mics in the ears, none of that shit. We're going to see how smart you are. Last, but certainly not least, honesty. Politicians of any shape and form in any part of the government will be held accountable for their lies. If they lie, they can be sued civilly and lose their jobs right off the bat. And if you get kicked out for lying, you can never hold office again. You cannot lie to the American people. Actually, that wasn't last. I got a few more. My apologies. If you own a company and your employees are on federal assistance, you don't get any tax exemptions. None whatsoever. Pay your employees. The other part of that is if a company makes $1 billion in profits, they get to keep half. The other half goes to the employees and divvied up fairly by hours worked. No more exploiting workers while the rich just get richer. If a company does well, the employees get paid well. And now we're at the last one, and that's tax the rich. Set whatever numbers you want, 10 million a year, 5 million a year, whatever. After that amount, you get taxed at 80% rate. And with that, there are no more billionaires. If you get $999 million, you've won capitalism. Everything after that is taxed at 99%. So that's what I have envisioned for what comes after, because we're definitely not going back to the same shit that allowed us to get fucking here.